Okay, hi everyone. Again, I am going to talk about Lingua Club. In the last episode, I gave you a very few insights about my language school. That how did I get this motivation to have my own language school? But in today's episode, I'm going to talk about the importance of language teaching and the curriculum that we do design in terms of different proficiency exams and why I do feel like that Lingua Club is different from all those language schools we do have in Twin Cities, or even in the other cities of Pakistan as well. Um, I have this understanding, and I developed this understanding throughout this career path that most of the time teachers do have this understanding in their mind that language teaching is more like a subject teaching. This is what we have been taught as well. This is how we are having the structure in our universities, school, and colleges that English is a kind of a subject, and people are going to study different components. They are going to memorize, might be the rote learning is going to be the part of that concept. And for the same reason, people start memorizing and like different chunks of the language parts, and they feel like that, okay, now they are able to learn English very easily and they can utilize that language in different ways. But when we relate language as a subject to language as in communication, there's a huge difference. The reason is because if somebody is going to ask you to write down something in English or it might be in any other language, it's easy to write down that content that you have wrote and that you have crammed during that concert. But if somebody is going to ask you to like sit somewhere in such kind of a setting where people are having the communication on different topics and they are trying to communicate with each other, they are trying to share their ideas, they are trying to talk about different cultural aspects. In that case, having the proficiency in language, having a good vocabulary to utilize your ideas in many ways matters a lot. So when I started digging into the situation that why it is happening that people are having very established backgrounds, they have done engineering, they have done medical sciences, still they are not able to communicate very well. And I related it like luckily I got the chance because at that time I was doing my MPhil, so I did my research in the same subject as well, like in the same niche. I took the results of all those people who have done their different proficiency exams and I compared them with the score that they get during their different language courses taught in the universities. And when I compared, I saw that people are getting very good advanced communication skills and technical writings and all that. But when it comes to the language score, they are not able to get the required band. So after doing all this stuff, I started comparing the language methodology we do utilize in our universities with the methodology that we utilize during teaching our different proficiency exam. And I got to know that it's more practical. When people come for the training, what do we do usually? We most of the time try to provide them like kind of an environment which is a very practical environment. People come, they do group discussions, they sit with people having different backgrounds, they try to learn different mechanics, for example, vocabulary and grammar by doing one-to-one practice. It's not like that somebody is going to sit and we are going to tell that, okay, this is the present tense, this is the past tense, this is the future tense, rules and regulations. This is how we have the system in our education system, that we usually teach rules and regulations first, and then we ask people to do the practice. And by the end, we get very less time for the practice. So providing such kind of an environment to people who really want to to be proficient in language, who really wants to learn it immediately and want to utilize it in different settings, formal and informal settings, it's important to give them such kind of platform where they can learn about each other's behavior, where they can learn about different people's culture, where they can appreciate each other's culture, because this is how they would be able to adapt communication. This is how they will be able to learn new words. This is how they will intrigue and they are going to ignite that passion within them, that how communication can help them in their personal and in their professional life. And I believe people, when they start communicating, when they start listening to other people, and when they know that people are listening to them, they start valuing themselves as well. So I relate communication skills courses and language skills courses one of the integral part of personal grooming, because it helps people to make their personality the way they really want it to be by the end of the day. So if I talk about, like, particularly if I talk about that what kind of courses we do offer, they are the different language courses. For example, IELTS, TOEFL exam, PTE exam, language cert, Oxford English, and all of these courses are required to get admission, bachelor's degree, foundation program, diploma program in different English speaking countries. And there are the different formats somehow, like in all of these courses: listening, reading, writing, speaking. These are the four important components that one has to improve. But the format of the test in all of these tests are totally different. Some are easy, some are difficult. So once people enroll themselves for these courses, we make sure that we give them a very clear understanding of the components, the format of the test, and then we just take them to the practical understanding of these exams. Again, there is a one point that matters a lot is most of the time when people are preparing for the language test, they don't emphasize on this thing that how much it is important to have a good level of English language. So we do cater such kind of people who are not having a very good level of English, and we feel like that they need more improvement in that one. We try to give them those courses which we usually call boosters, and that basically help them to improve their basic language. If they are at the level of A1, after taking that course, somehow they are going to be at the level of A2, then B1, then B2. So if somebody wants to score a good band for the master's degree, in that case, that person needs to have the English language level of B2. So we make sure that we can take the different diagnostic tests from the students. We get to know that what is the need of that candidate. Depending upon that, the teachers and the trainers, they try to develop such kind of curriculum that can help them to get the required band in a given period of time. When it comes to the faculty of Lingua Club, I'm very excited to talk about that we have a very fine faculty who have a background of doing TESOL and the TEFL degrees. Because TESOL and TEFL degrees, these are the certifications that basically equip teachers to have such kind of teaching methodology, which is the requirement of teaching English language or any other sort of languages as well. But particularly, if I'm going to talk about English language specifically, the reason is that we are providing all those courses which are relevant to English language. And in future, we are planning that we will have such kind of courses and the certifications which are related to other languages. Of course, when people want to move to other countries, for example, Germany, or if they want to move to France or any other languages, or even if they are applying for embassy jobs, they do need to improve their proficiency in other languages as well. So I would recommend all of you to see the successful testimonials we do have on our Instagram and Facebook pages. And even we are going to have this podcast where we will definitely going to share the successful stories of all those students who have got the required band. They have done now their degrees as well. They are definitely flourishing in their careers, and they all are in contact with us. And like all of these success stories basically give us motivation and encouragement that yes, we are doing better work and we can help people and we can bring improvement in the journey of the different students as well. As far as concerned to Lingua Nerd, I would say that Lingua Nerd is a platform which is going to aware people about the language teaching and learning. We will specifically call those people who have the same field. We will ask them that why language is important, why it helps people to establish their culture, why cultural diversity is important, why it is important to celebrate days which are related to language, why it is important to aware our young generation about the importance of language, not only Urdu language, not only English language, all those languages which are being spoken all around the world. We will talk about the importance of local languages as well. We'll talk about the challenges that people and students are facing to be proficient in that language, and how can we improve our curriculum, how can we bring more innovative ideas towards language, towards the field of language teaching and learning. So this was a brief introduction about Lingua Club and Lingua Nerd. So from the next episode, I'm sure that we are going to have a very good guest with us, who is going to talk about language teaching and learning. And I hope and I believe that this podcast journey is going to be very fruitful for all those people who really want to excel in the same career, even they want to take any sort of the course or any sort of language proficiency exam or any sort of communication skills course, which can definitely help them out in any way of their life. So thank you so much. I'm going to sign off right now. Lingua Club not only enables students to improve their linguistic skills to pass their IELTS exam, but it does give them a direction to get to know about the other aspects of the linguistics and the communication skills that can definitely help them out to achieve their goal. Most of the time, I have observed that when people are taking the preparation courses for different language tests, by the end of the day, they do have this opinion that after taking this course, we get to know that what basically language is and what kind of shortcomings they do have in that level, and how would they be able, and in future they feel like that they need to improve their level of English if they really want to be proficient speakers. So I believe this is the thing that basically make Lingua Club very different than other people, that the kind of a team we do have that is very expert. They usually have the certifications which are related to language teaching. We have basically invested a lot of time to train our teachers as well, and to talk about the course curriculum, course outline, which should be a very fine according to the needs of the student, which can basically help students to improve their language skills and to definitely get their required band or even to get their goals as well.